Righto guys, welcome to another video. This video is going to be for the asset store and Ampersand assets. It's a digital download Etsy store. A lot of crease and cuts, there's a lot of vector files on there. Just there's files that you can print at your office or home just to make life a little bit easier. You know, things like the driving license theory test, the cards with the what is this on the front and the answer on the back, so people can test each other on the go. They're pretty popular, so people can use these assets indefinitely as long as they don't resell. I'll never know, but that's kind of like the honor-based thing, I guess. I know there's people use them for classes and such. I get people who either 5-star me on this shop or they either 1-star me. So people either know what they're doing with a Cricut or a Brother or a plotter. The Cricut or the Brother is like a desktop thing. I'm sure there's others. I can't think off the top of my head. If you have a plotter, you probably know more about it than most, because plotters you need to have a plug-in, or you're not going to buy like $1,000 worth of kit or £500 worth of kit and not know how to use it. I know that there's a lot of card holders that people use as well. So like people with Airbnbs or small hotels, perhaps even the big hotels, and someone's just looking to get a nice tip. If you put someone's card in a nice little envelope, could be a tip at the end of the day for just there's a little bit of amount of work, and you can make them stop while you're sitting there. I know that a lot of these like late nighters in the hotels, are twiddling their thumbs. Once they've cleaned the place twice, they ain't got much to do. Maybe there's a late arrival and stuff. So this sort of crafty side of things. So I had a lady buy one the other day, and she was using Word to add her own writing on and such. And I spoke to her. I said it's not an ideal thing. And here's the thing as well. I sent her for £2.99. So after fees and stuff, I probably up £2. If I have to talk to a customer and I'm charging myself labour, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd be losing money straight away, the first reaction. So if someone talks to me on the asset store asking for advice, I would like to have it a bit more passive, where I'm going to make videos like this and do shorts and more sort of formal videos where I'm recording myself working on the files. So I usually offer as many options as I can think is like, so I do like PDFs, SVGs, JPEGs, PNGs. I just offer everything, right? If I give you everything, you can't go wrong, depending on how you want to do it. So there's lots of different ways you can do it with the Cricut. You can have the or the Brother or whatever. You can digitally take off the cut file when you're printing, add the Cricut corner marks in, and then add the cut files in later, and then print, and then use the reference marks to cut. A lot of people don't know these sorts of things, so what they use is the perfect corner on these printing machines, so they bump it up. So I would say for these people, there is a bit of trial and error. You're not going to get it right, and a lot of people get frustrated about these things, especially if they're a bit more normie to it. They're a bit crafty, but they also want it to just work, which for £2.99 you get an indefinite resource which can make a product forever. And if you don't want to go on YouTube, and study a bit and learn more about the machinery and stuff, which is going to help you at the end of the day. So I often wonder. I'm thinking, I knew one of our customers who left a review learned to make it for his wedding. So he made some things for his wedding using the assets, and he said it really helps the decorations. So and then now you've got a desktop Cricut and you've learned how to do that. What else can you do? And there's a lot of like other digital downloads you can use and such. That it doesn't really end. You can do so much with it. A lot of these files have crease marks as well. A lot of cutters don't have crease marks, so you will have to get a little bone and a ruler and score your own crease marks. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's fine. It's fine. maybe not for production reasons, but if you're just doing 20 boxes for your friends or such, you can do it. It's not the end of the world. You may even prefer it that way, because then you can get the nice curl in. A lot of crease machines, you can miss what you're after on it, or you might have to re-crease again anyway. I've worked with crease machines, and some of them for specific jobs, it's just a way to mark the paper, and then you have to fold it yourself anyway. So you have to like refold it to make the fold proper. So it's like scoring it almost. So if you use your bone yourself, you've got it done. What's that? Just watching half an hour on the telly while doing it. So you can do. So what have we done so far? We've done having the cut file, the PDF, turn off the cut lines, print it with the reference marks on your Cricut or any of the device that you have, and then you recut it with. And once printed, you can laminate it or whatever you want to do to it, and then recut it and use the reference marks as a cutter. You can do this again with the perfect corner. So if you just choose a spot on the cutter, and you can start from that point and then cut it out. So there's no reference marks. That way you have full length of the paper, which is ideal if you're using it. Or of course, because if you add trim marks, you might have to make it smaller. It will still relate to the size. It doesn't just change because of the ratio. So there's other ways of doing it. I was thinking as well. So the reason why I put like the JPEG in it and stuff, I was thinking for like maybe like crafty nights or like teachers with their students, they could give them all a plain bit of paper and a printed with the cutting lines, and then you put it up against a window and you could draw what you wanted into it. So you have the back sheet against the window, a bit of light, or a light box or something. You could draw your hand drawn. It makes it quite like charming. And then what you do is then you photocopy that one and put it in. Make sure you've got lots of bleeds so you can't really go wrong. And then you photocopy that one, at your school, your office, whatever. If you're just throwing together a little card for maybe the stag do or something, so everyone gets their hotel cards in a nice little thing, or maybe it's a thank you gift card maybe you're giving out. So. Or a competition perhaps that a work raffle or something. There's loads of it's never ending. You can use these things forever, and maybe you want to use them for both, which makes the value even better. So you could literally, so if in an analog way you could put it up, draw it, photocopy it 20 times. That photocopier might be a bit wobbly. That's why you want to give it a lot of bleed. These office printers aren't the best, but they're pretty good for just like this sort of thing. You could turn it over, print on the back, whatever you like. So, or on the inside, so it's got a bit more character, perhaps. Or if I always like looking in the inside of a box, and if the inside of a packaging has designs on the inside, that my brain likes that a lot. Like it's that and like handwritten thank you letters. It's like styles in the detail, isn't it? So. And then once you've got them printed off, you go back to the plotter, have your perfect corner, and then you can cut them out using your perfect corner. So bump it up to your perfect corner, wherever your perfect corner may be. You might put out a bit of tape on it just to know where your perfect corner is. So once that one's done, next sheet on, using your perfect corner. You might even have two perfect corners. Some people, once you have the perfect corner, it should work out because it's a perfect corner. It's a perfect right angle corner, and that's your starting spot. So I'm trying to think if there's any other ways you could use the files. This woman was doing it in Word, so I said to her, bring the image into Word, make it full scale, and I wonder if there's a way you can make it like lower the opacity and then start writing with Word. It's not the most, it's going to be a clunky way of doing it. It's doable. I've seen people make artwork using Excel. So it's definitely doable. And then again, remove that. Have you print whatever you need. Print it. It might take a few times to print it. You might need to make it 5% bigger or 5% smaller. So there's no perfect answer. But I think like learning these things as you go makes it much easier next time. And then, you know, if your friend needs something, you can just bang it out. The only thing that's another reason why I'm making this video, I found a little bit of hesitancy in people. They bought it and they just wanted to press go. I don't know anything that's going to be like that. I do put instructions in the thing, but I can't tell you what software you're using. I can't tell you what hardware you're using. They are generic files, so you've got to make them work for your files. I had one woman who had trouble opening it on Windows, which I've never heard before. Might just be a glitch in the matrix, but she opened a Mac and they opened up fine. I've had other people tell me that it's worked on their Windows. I actually have a Windows laptop in there, so I've opened them up in there as well. So, you know, you never know. There's little glitches in the matrix that come up as well. I'm more than happy to help. Again, the asset store to me is kind of like fun, and it just keeps, it's a slowly, you know, putting little cups to collect rainwater. You know, I'm slowly gonna hopefully build something more. I like the way it looks, and it's very color coordinated, and you can see which files are with what. I don't make a lot of money from it, so it is just a store that I just kind of add things to gradually. I've just added the forklift maintenance checklist on it, which can be used as, you know, that most corporations need. If they've got a forklift on site, they might find it useful for someone to have a tick sheet, and it's relatively cheap compared to, you know, what you would have to pay some health and safety guy just to get his, and he's probably printing it for you or something. And these guys can charge through the roof, because where else are you going to go? Imagine if there's someone in your office who says, "Oh, I can buy the assets for," I don't even remember. I can't remember what price I put on it, but I think it's like $8.99. Don't quote me on that. Go have a look, and if you want to check it out. But then again, it's an indefinite resource that you'll have for the next guy and the next guy, and you probably could end up with just getting the guy on a forklift to print it out at his workstation, and that'll be his checklist. You don't have to buy these books, and then he files them. You could make it an interactive PDF where he adds it on a tablet or something. Give me a buzz if that interests you. I could make that a resource as well, so I can make an interactive PDF where it's just typed in. You click where you want to write, and that's definitely something I can do. It always comes back to me about printing. So you know, I would ideally like it if people printed them off. And you know, even if again, these are all sort of generic things as well. So I wonder if, you know, people would add their own twist on it and such. You know, they might even add their own logo onto it, so it's their sort of checklist. You know, so I'm always sort of adding stuff onto it. I do want to make it more. I do want to do a short playlist of all of the assets on the store. And I will make more formal videos of me working with them on the computer for anyone who's not tech savvy. I do one using Affinity. I do one using Illustrator. If anyone says in the comments, "Oh, I can use Photoshop instead," I can use Photoshop instead. It's not ideal, but if someone might just have the Photoshop and Lightroom package, then I haven't got the full Creative Cloud. So it's definitely doable, and I want to help everyone out. And again, these are the sort of things are putting out in the world. Thimbles, that's what the expression is, putting thimbles in the rain, collecting rain. Eventually you have a bucket. This is just a little, there's an asset store as well. So you've got Steed Graphics and Ampersand assets, and Ampersand is the studio. Steed Graphics will be more of a signage thing, but again, I can see it sort of becoming and Ampersand's old store. So I had a whole store, but that's gone now. But yeah, check out the old videos if you want to hear that. I'll probably bring it up again. So like and subscribe, guys. Hope everyone's having a wicked day. Take it easy.